So as we know, the research shows that exercise and eating well are really important for people who are living with dementia. Exercise really supports people's muscle mass, which supports mobility, that independence of movement. It's good for cardiovascular, so making sure that the blood's flowing around the body appropriately, making sure that you're getting enough oxygen to the brain to help with being able to process day-to-day living. But there's also social aspects that come into exercise, so joining activities such as walking football or walking netball, really beneficial. Ping pong, it gets so many different networks and things firing in the brain that it can really support a person's functioning living with dementia. When it comes to eating well, so much research about getting the right nutrients, the right fluid levels in as well. So it's important to try and maintain, say, 6-7 glasses of liquid. By maintaining good nutrition, good fluid levels, you're supporting a person to also be well when it comes to infections. As we know, infections can have a really awful effect on somebody's dementia. It can really make it look like somebody's declining a lot more quickly than they actually are. So making sure that somebody is topped up with their fluids will help to keep the system running better. So easy enough to say, eat well, but what does eating well actually look like? And there's really good research to demonstrate that the Mediterranean diet is a good approach for people who are living with dementia. So it's having a portion of fish a week, having good amounts of vegetables and grains, healthy fats such as olive oil, avocados, but reducing the saturated levels of fat, and by that we mean butter, whole milk, processed foods such as white bread's best to avoid. Is try and focus on those elements of a diet that are what we call whole foods, so lots of vegetables is key, more vegetables than anything else, and avoiding your sugary drinks, sweets, chocolate. It's thinking about what's good for the heart is good for the head as well.
What is helpful to people living with dementia is the use of technology, of course, because there are more and more apps out there and more electronic ways of helping people to keep their minds and their brains really stimulated, so they can be obviously mobile phone apps or used on a laptop. There are also TV-based programs and support available to people as well. What's really important in terms of thinking about activities is about helping the person to maintain their independence, and activities really help with that, because it's the person continuing to live independently in a physical sense. And that's really important, because what we must avoid, of course, is an approach is where we do too much for the person, because we know that for people living with dementia, that is going to have a massive impact on their ability to continue to do what they've been doing if we are doing things for them. So the more that we help people to continue to do things for themselves, so long as that isn't having a major impact upon them, the better. But where it is having a major impact for the person, then we think about, can we do things in a different way, rather than we step in and do that for the person.
So important to think about activities more broadly. It's not just playing on a game or doing a crossword. It's everything that creates a person's routine. All of those things are activity. We found at Alzheimer's Society that singing for the brain is really good at stimulating a person in terms of improving attention, releasing endorphins. Something which we find that resonates with what you're saying about finding that connection, that inner connection, is in singing for the brain, where we'll be singing a particular song and maybe a particular lyric or a feel of it reminds a person of a song that their father used to sing to them, for example. And then that memory and somebody saying that then allows another person to say, oh, this used to be the song which our family used to sing together, and you just have this wonderful knock-on effect of allowing memories to be opened up and explored, and it wouldn't have happened without that connection to that song or that lyric at that particular time.
Yeah, and we definitely find that music is really the medium to help people to connect, particularly obviously in the more advanced stages of dementia. So individually to connect within themselves, but also, as we've said before, to connect socially, as you're saying.
The great thing about music is that it's stored differently in the brain, in memory. It is more connected to our emotional memory. And for people who are living with dementia, that's a more protected side of memory. So you'll find that the everyday or what happened in the morning is gone because somebody wasn't connected to that properly. It isn't important almost for the brain to remember that, but a song which has that emotional connection is much easier for somebody to find and to hold on to. So maybe people should just sing the whole day.